For millions of years, humans have relentlessly searched for traces of their distant ancestors. But there was once a creature that lived around 4 million years ago, with features unlike any other and carrying secrets that have yet to be fully decoded: the ancient ape known as Australopithecus. Who would have thought that a small, bipedal creature could be the cradle of modern humans? Their story is not only fascinating, but also opens the door to mysteries that science is still striving to uncover.
Australopithecus, a name derived from Latin with australis meaning southern and pithecus meaning ape, was an ancient hominid species that lived in eastern and southern Africa millions of years ago. It is considered one of the earliest known ancestors of modern humans. However, their appearance and way of life remain subjects of ongoing debate and active research within the scientific community. With its unique biological features, Australopithecus represents a crucial link in the evolutionary transition from apes to humans. The name first drew the attention of archaeologists and anthropologists in the 1920s, when some of its earliest fossils were discovered in South Africa. Since then, a series of new findings has gradually lifted the veil on the mystery of these prehistoric apes.
The ancient hominids Australopithecus were small in size, similar to modern apes. They stood about 1.2 to 1.5 meters tall and weighed between 30 to 55 kilograms, with some species in this genus having rather slender builds. However, unlike modern apes, Australopithecus had the ability to stand upright and move on 2 legs, a significant evolutionary step that allowed them to forage for food and observe their surroundings more effectively. Although they could walk bipedally, these ancient apes still retain some ape-like features, such as a flat face, large jaws, and a relatively small brain compared to their body size. This indicates that they were not yet fully developed like modern humans, but had already acquired characteristics of a species in transition. Australopithecus primarily lived in open woodlands or grasslands, where trees and rich vegetation coexisted. This type of ecosystem provided them with an abundant food supply, including fruits, leaves, and possibly small animals they could hunt or scavenge. In addition to their ability to stand upright, these ancient hominids had strong arms that helped them climb trees and escape from predators. This indicates that they did not live solely on the ground, but also relied on trees for shelter and foraging.
Today, scientists believe that Australopithecus is not the direct ancestor of modern humans. Rather, Australopithecus served as a bridge between apes and early human ancestors, marking an important phase in human evolution. Over millions of years, various species within the Australopithecus genus developed distinct traits, from body structure to the ability to use tools. They were creative beings, capable of using stones and natural materials to craft basic tools, a critical turning point in the evolutionary journey of humankind. Australopithecus, the distant ancestors of humans, began their hunting journey using primitive stone tools. They used sharp stone fragments to pierce the skin and butcher small prey like herbivorous animals. Their hunting method mainly relied on patience and group coordination, with some individuals acting as lookouts while others approached the prey. After a successful hunt, they used stone tools to cut the meat and share the food, which helped increase their chances of survival and community development. The hunting efforts of Australopithecus marked an important step in human evolution. The story of Australopithecus is not just a tale of biological evolution, but also one of adaptability and survival. These ancient apes lived in a constantly changing world, where the ability to adapt to their environment and survival strategies determined their fate. The lessons from their past help us better understand the evolutionary process and the development of modern humans.
Early humans, or Australopithecus, lived in groups, relying on each other to survive in the harsh, wild environment. They took shelter in natural caves or beneath thick tree canopies to protect themselves from predators and the elements. Life was lived in a constant state of alert. Not only did they face wild animals, but also rival groups of Australopithecus. Territorial conflicts over water sources, fruit trees, or hunting grounds were common, often erupting into loud confrontations with stones and sticks as weapons. Though primitive, they organized group hunts, shared food, and protected one another. Strength was respected within the group, but it was unity and cooperation that ensured survival in the unforgiving prehistoric world.
The story of Australopithecus is not just one of biological evolution, but also a tale of adaptability and survival. These ancient apes lived in a constantly changing world, where the ability to adjust to their environment and develop survival strategies determined their fate. The lessons from their past help us better understand the evolutionary process and the development of modern humans. Although significant progress has been made in studying and learning about Australopithecus, we still do not fully understand everything about them. New discoveries continue to emerge, each unveiling more secrets about the distant past of our human ancestors. This is why the story of Australopithecus continues to capture attention and remains a fascinating subject of research for scientists and anyone passionate about uncovering the mysteries of human history.
The journey of exploring Australopithecus will never end. Stay tuned for the next video to witness the fierce battles between these ancient apes and the many enemies lurking in the wild.
के जादू से जैसे टोना लगल तू छू दिहल माटी त सोना लगल रूप के जादू से जैसे टोना लगल तू छू दिहल माटी त सोना लगल हम त देखी के तोहके जुड़ाए लगनी हम त देखी के तोहके जुड़ाए लगनी बस तू ही याद बाड़ू सब भुलाए लगनी बस तू ही याद बाड़ू सब भुलाए लगनी